Yeah. Well, thank you guys so much for being on today. This is episode 21 of Beers and Bells. I'm DeMarco. We've got Tommy. We've got Sean here. And we're super excited. We're going to talk about fitness, drink some beer, hang out, meet a new guest, somebody that Tommy and I actually don't know. So we're super excited. Sean's the only person that knows you. So
yes, it is
nice.
So
again, thanks for being here.
Yeah. So
it is nice meeting you for the first time in life.
Yes,
nice.
For the first time in life. Yeah. Julie, are you drinking anything with us today, or are you rocking?
I have coffee.
There we go. Yeah. There we go. There we go.
Yes.
Hi guys.
We have we're actually seeing friends for the first time in like months tonight, and so I was like, coffee is happening midday.
Yeah, I feel it.
Yeah,
nice. So we're gonna pop ours open now.
Cheers, guys.
Awesome.
Right, cheers to you.
All right.
So one thing we haven't done in a bit is, so I don't know if we've told you, but we always have this update in the beginning because our friend DeMarco here has never seen The Office all the way through.
I have now.
You finished it?
I finished it. Yeah.
How have you're just telling me now? I'm so upset.
There you go.
Okay.
We're gonna save that for later though.
Okay, yeah, we're gonna have to now.
Yeah.
Right.
Okay.
So basically, like, we don't want to take we kind of want you to introduce yourself, and then we'll kind of go from there. So basically, talk us through your fitness journey, so to speak, like back when it first started in terms of you getting into working out, and then just kind of where that took you after that. Because I remember you and I, we kind of knew that we were both going down the personal training route, and you had asked me if I was getting certified soon, and I said yes, but I definitely did it way later after that, but probably like a year or two after. So yeah, kind of just talk us through, day one of this long journey and where you're at now.
Yeah. I guess, it's always funny when people ask me like, when did your journey start? Fitness became part of my life when I was 10. And it's not the most uplifting story, like how it came about, but basically, like, I was uncomfortable in who I was as a 10-year-old, which is absolutely awful to think about. And like, my heart is with every other kid who struggles through it. But I ended up having surgery. I had a tonsillectomy. And from there, I had a really hard recovery where I literally couldn't eat for 3 weeks. So it was awful. But I was an overweight kid. And so then I lost a good amount of weight. And pretty much that sparked the connection in my mind of kind of like, oh, food and, how this relates to your weight and all that. Fortunately, I did not go down a path of, a full-blown eating disorder with that. But I also really opened up my world to the whole fitness and nutrition side of things. So from there, I got way more into soccer than I'd ever been, which led to me finding running and really enjoying that. And then when I was about 13, I was pissed that I wasn't old enough to go to the gym on my own, to be able to explore other things because, I was sick of it. I was like, it's cold outside. I can't go outside and work out and do fun things. So I started asking my dad to build a home gym, which when I was 13, I was kind of like anything goes. I was a cardio junkie. So he did, thank God for him. But so he brought a treadmill in, he brought an elliptical in a Bowflex. And then, yeah, so that's kind of where things started for me. And then it just kind of spiraled from there where I was, I was working kind of typical high school jobs and just being I think all I want to do is teach people how to work out. And so, that kind of just led me right into school where I studied kinesiology and graduated with that degree. And I got certified back in 2015. So while I was still in school, and yeah, right out of school, I was like, all right, here I go into the training field. So yeah.
That sounds fantastic. So I don't know if we covered so how far do you and Sean go back? Did we cover that?
Middle school.
Middle school.
Yeah. Wow. We didn't really know each other all that much until probably freshman year, I guess. But yeah, we were both very, playing sports and whatnot. But now that you had mentioned you got certified in 2015, I don't think I was technically certified till 2017. That's because, I wanted to learn as much as I can in school, and then take a few months to study, and then I took the test after graduated college, and then here I am today. So, so you had told me the other day you don't have as many clients at the moment because of COVID, of course. So kind of what's that transition been like as far as, you had, X amount of clients before, and just what that's looked like up until right now?
Yeah. So my focus was, I was working still in a gym. I was working at an F45. So I was working in the group setting, and then I was also focused on building my own clientele. When COVID happened, I pretty much, stepped away from that completely because I wasn't willing to put myself in a situation where the risk was heightened. And I'm still not there personally, which kind of sucks. It kind of sucks, having this thing that's which I'm sure you guys are all feeling, just having this thing that's I want to have an impact. I want to keep doing what I love, but at the same time, it's just I can't. So right now I train one person one-on-one. The rest of my time I am completely virtual with what I do. So it's, it's been weird, but I guess I just have to take it as it's a growing and learning experience of just, where your values are at and what you want to actually do in the industry. That's kind of how I'm taking it.
Yeah, the biggest word in our industry right now is adaptation.
Mm-hmm.
Not more than just it is always a big word with muscular adaptation, adapt, but just period across all factors. Mm-hmm. Adaptation to everything happening. Mm-hmm. So good on you for trying to maneuver your way through it, just like the rest of us.
So that one is actual personal training, correct? And then the other stuff you do on Zoom. Talk about that a little bit, because you had told me you are a coach for Noom, which, to be honest, I wasn't really sure what that was until you had mentioned it. So teach us, what's that?
Yeah, so Noom is a psychologically based weight loss program. So I am actually a health coach manager. So I manage a team of 15 coaches, and in a very large team of coaches. There's a lot of us out there, and we do everything virtually. So it's basically all of our users, they get their content every day within their app, they do their thing, and then we coach them through their behavior changes and their lifestyle changes that they're making. And it's truly an amazing experience for just the amount of lives that you can impact. And, when I think about it, when those days come where you're just oh man, what am I doing? I think about the fact that every single coach on my team has X number of users who's, on the other end and making lifestyle changes. So yeah, it's a totally different space than I ever thought I would be in. But I think it's a really awesome spot to really leverage two really big sides of this, the whole health and wellness field.
Right. Awesome.
Yeah.
And you've been doing that how long exactly?
2 years.
2 years. Nice.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
So Noom's not that new of a company. I literally have not heard of Noom until, Sean said you were going to be on, and then watching coverage, and just seeing Calm and Noom were the only sponsors.
Mm-hmm.
So now it's just starting to blend together. So I'm apologize. I did not know Noom was actually that old of a company.
Yeah, it's actually, I think, founded in 2008, and then we really took off in 2016. But yeah, I mean, it's it's interesting to see the turn in the industry itself, where it's it's not just tracking food, that's not the only app that's out there. There's now we're digging into the psych stuff, and we're actually getting to root causes of things, which I think is amazing. Right. It opens up so much for people. So yeah, it's really cool.
Yeah, it definitely sounds like you have kind of more in your tool belt, so to speak, in terms of where beforehand maybe you only wanted to train people just the fitness aspect of it, and not to say that you won't do that again when things die down, of course, and people are comfortable again. But it's cool that you're only going to be a better coach because of because of it, seeing as like you're doing this stuff now and you can hopefully, get back on track with the fitness part of it too. So because a lot of people maybe don't have an issue with the fitness part, but they have an issue with the other part that you're helping them with. So to be able to help them in more ways than one definitely makes you more multifaceted, which is pretty cool. So.
Yeah, for sure. It's definitely opened up my eyes to just, how to have those more meaningful conversations when you're, in the one-on-one setting. Because, you spend sometimes only an hour with, your clients every week, in the training field. And it's like, there's so many other hours external to that. And to be able to have those meaningful conversations in that space together, I think, opens up so much more for both the client and yourself. And I think it helps them miles and miles to continue progressing towards their goals. That was one of my biggest gaps that I always saw as a trainer. I was like, we can crush it in the gym for an hour, but what are you doing for the rest of the time that we're not together? That has always been like my thing of like, how am I, how much of an impact am I having? So yeah.
So yeah, that's awesome. DeMarco, do you have anything?
Yeah, I mean, I ask the same question every single time, and you've more or less answered it, but just not as directly. What's your mission? What's your deeper why behind what you do?
Yeah. My own brand is called Balanced Lifestyles, and balance became such a buzzword as of recent that I kind of have a hard time like saying the word.
Yeah.
And it looks so different for every single person, but I think, at the root cause of everything that I do is to widely accept the differences that allow us to, live our most balanced lives. I think it's, we're in a world where we idolize restriction, and I'm trying to use the right words to not offend anybody, restriction and like extremist mentalities. And, I've been there. I've done it. I've seen it. I've seen it from both sides. I've seen it the before, I've seen it the after, I've seen, the spiral. So the biggest thing that keeps me doing what I do is to help people find that space of their own balance, where they're still living their lives and enjoying it while also embracing like all the good that can come from fitness and nutrition and leading the healthiest lifestyle for you individually. And, being able to put those blinders on and being like, this is my balance. It's going to look different for the person next to me. They're going to do their thing and they're going to love it. But we can still come together and we can still be powerful here together. So.
Hell yeah.
And that's what I love about him. I was asking that question is we always get, there's no wrong answer, but they're always like, they're the best answers because they're always different. And especially you're like I said, our first health coach. So it's cool to see. I mean, we've had like different like trainers who may have more of a niche in one way, like whether it's, with runners or, marathoners, whatever, stuff like that. But like you, like I said, would be the first where we've had kind of this, again, like a coach who coaches coaches and whatnot, and just people in general. So that's really, really cool.
Yeah. And our first Zoom call. So
our first Zoom.
Yeah, you're our inaugural Zoom.
And you're crushing it. So you're doing great.
So that reminds me of what I was going to ask earlier. As far as did you, I guess, like go into the office before all this, or was it always like over the computer anyways? Always
virtual.
Okay.
Wow.
That's
so at least you were kind of used to it already,
Yeah. Yeah, I know everyone who's, especially in the beginning, I was like trying to adjust to like this work from home life. And I was like, so nothing's really changed in my life.
Exactly. You're like, it sucks, but
yeah. Yeah. No, I mean, it's definitely weird. Like, I mean, of course there's days where you like don't leave your house. I mean, at least like when things were normal, I'd leave and like, I'd go to the gym and like just be in like a different space. So yeah, that was probably like the biggest adjustment for me, but I totally feel for everyone who was like, I've never done this before. What am I supposed to do? How do I stop eating all the snacks in my kitchen? So
actually, to that point, do you feel like it was not harder to connect with people during this time, but like probably maybe you had to take on more people and like helped them a little bit more than usual because of COVID, I assume, right? Like
Oh my gosh.
complete 180, right?
Yeah. Yeah. Every time I have a conversation with either, a superior or somebody on my team, there's always like a touch on, just like the current season that we're in and like within the world. And it's really hard to have those conversations beyond like what's going on around us. It's really hard to be able to like put that aside and focus on, either personal growth or setting goals for, oneself, because everybody's feeling so like trapped in a way. So like reflecting back on the year, it's like it's put so much pressure on just like a different style of coaching in every single facet.
Right,
And yeah, I mean, conversations with, our users, like they don't look the way they did a year ago or, in February. Conversations are, so many people, honestly, like it's awful to say, but it's just like so many people are just trying to like get through it.
Right.
Yeah, just putting their head down and just trying to powering through. It's all we can do.
Yeah. So it's like striking that balance with them and being like, there's so much out of our control. Where can we pull in some of, what you are in control of and like what you can feel proud of and like feel happy about? Ultimately, like we're finding that that's the deepest way to make a connection with people at this time. And trying to get them to come into a mindset that's like everything over here sucks, but like you are in control of how you feel and like how you are processing what's going on.
That's right.
Absolutely.
Stoics talk about that all the time.
Yeah. And I would never say that your job was any less important before COVID, but obviously it's for the people on the other side of the screen. They're probably looking forward to that one-on-one with you however many times a week, more so now. So, that's kind of like when you have a session in the gym, that's what people look forward to all week sometimes. And it's arguably more important now than it was before. So it's good that you're, there for them for that. So that's, it's just very noble in my opinion.
Yeah, for sure. Sorry if you can hear the dogs barking. Someone just rang the bell.
We love dogs, so not a problem.
Yeah. Now, I feel like every time, so you have two of them for sure, right?
Yes, I actually have to go see who's at the door. I need to pause.
Yeah.
No.
You can pause the recording if you need to.
Oh, we'll just keep it rolling. You're fine.
We can crop it out too.
Yeah, we'll just figure it out. Well, it's something for post, or we'll just let it roll.
I mean, you can splice stuff, so it's fine, right?
So you didn't tell me you finished The Office. We'll leave this one in.
I did.
You did? When?
I don't know that either.
About a week ago.
Okay, you didn't know that either? Okay, I feel a little bit better.
I didn't. I texted you.
Well, your phone's on the fridge, so whatever.
Oh, is it?
It's
It's weird. It's weird.
No, that's
Yeah.
well, so what did you think?
I want to watch it again.
Of course you do, yeah.
I don't. You haven't told the end of the year, I guess.
Lauren slapped me and said, "We're not watching this again." I said, "Why not?"
Well, you see, Michaela's the opposite, which I was thrilled about. She she wanted to go back and watch.
I want to see the Pam development again, and just everything. And I love Stanley because he's just so.
Stanley's just hilarious.
All right, back.
Sorry.
No,
Don't worry about it.
We used to do pretty long episodes, and we started shortening it down a little bit. So, and obviously we don't want to take too much of your time, seeing as I'm sure you're sick of being on Zoom anyways. So we've definitely touched on the more important things that we like to talk about, just to, we pretty much ask a lot of the same questions, but love getting different answers. Arguably DeMarco's question is one of the more important ones, because it's nice to hear, just what people have to say in regards to that. But before we let you go, tell us a fun fact about yourself. Something that's basically
This is my favorite one.
Yeah, I mean, it's a great question because that's also different.
Or to make it less pressure, I've found what's a not fun fact, like a boring fact about yourself, because that usually turns out to be a fun fact.
So whatever,
whichever one you want.
Just so the viewers know you a little bit more.
This is all we do a ton of icebreakers at work, and I am awful about interesting facts or anything like that.
boring fact works just as well because we don't know you. Well, I mean, we don't really know you. So a boring fact.
I'm trying to think of one myself for you, not to speak for you, but I got nothing. So
I know. See, I'm like really not that interesting.
well, why don't you?
That's why I say boring fact. Go boring.
Tell them what kind of dogs you have, what their names are, stuff like that.
Yeah.
That's a
I have we have 2 rescue dogs, Callie and Rue, and they're very special. Very special. I would have brought them upstairs, except they're both going psycho in their crates because the electrician's here to install our light fixture.
Oh yeah.
But I mean, I guess the fun fact, we kind of moved to North Carolina spontaneously 3 years ago. And
oh, what part?
We live in Holly Springs.
Holly Springs. Where's that near? What city is that close to?
So we're in Wake County, so we're near Raleigh.
Awesome. My wife and I went to Elon University.
Oh, really?
Yeah, absolutely.
There we go.
Got
So yeah, we just
all over.
Yeah, that's really cool. Yeah, so we pretty much like just planted our roots here. We closed on our house September 30th. We built our house. So
And what about the other big piece of
oh yeah, and we got engaged in our living room before it was fully built.
Adorable.
That's awesome.
Yeah. So obviously I don't know him personally, but he did a great job with all that. Like just
The poor guy, he had like 7 different plans and they all got ruined by COVID. Like everything that we were going to do got canceled. We were supposed to go to Florida. We were supposed to be on Nantucket. We were supposed to be on the beach. It's just, but honestly, like it was, that like pretty much sums us up. Like in our living room, like this is
awesome.
Yeah, he had everything to plan G. He had a plan G, and it still got thrown out the window.
Yeah.
Damn.
Yeah.
Like I said, adaptation.
But with the way the year played out, that I would argue that makes it even more special, just because you guys be able to say you weathered the 2020 storm together. So I think that'll make it even more memorable.
For sure.
That's a pun there. You weathered the storm of 2020.
Yeah, you like that.
So best of luck to you for obviously all that stuff happening now. And again, don't want to take too much of your time. We'll take a couple more minutes just so I can.
Just a few. Yeah. Just a few.
I'm going to cut in really quick. I apologize.
Yeah.
Julie, may I ask where we can find you on social media? I'm going to link everything below, but I'd just like everybody to hear it. Where can we find you? Where can people sign up for your coaching if they're interested in what you're doing?
My
Instagram handle is, see, it's so hard. Like, I can't wait to change my last name because of this. It's Julie _DeBenedetto. Sean can grab it, the spelling for you, because you don't want to hear me try to spell it. It's not fun.
I don't think anyone wants that either.
And then I do have a website, and it's ourbalancedlifestyles.com, where you can find me, services, and all that jazz.
Awesome. Okay, so we'll definitely throw that up there for you, just to build more foot traffic for you. Cool. All right. So again, appreciate you coming on. I know it was pretty booked up. So again, regardless, that we appreciate your time. And then we just want to remind everybody else of our 1,000 subscriber challenge on YouTube. So once we reach that number of subscribers, we'll pick 5 of you guys to win 3 very good prizes. One of which is 5 personal training sessions, whether it's on Zoom or in person. That leads into 3 months worth of programming, depending on what we worked on and obviously what your goals are. And the last one is one of these very nice shirts. Okay. Strength with purpose. So
absolutely.
All right, Julie. So that's all we have for you today. So again, we appreciate it. And
Julie, thank you so much.
Maybe we'll have you on again at some point.
Yes,
absolutely.
Awesome.
It was great meeting you for the first time in life.
We're gonna come down to North Carolina and come get a workout in with you. My in-laws actually. So I have a lot of North Carolina ties. So
yeah. Well, our gym should be done by then. So
absolutely
perfect.
Awesome.
I'm excited to see that transformation.
You're getting your own gym.
Well, she has her own house, so she'll figure it out.
Okay, well, fair. All right, fair.
There we go.
Yeah.
All right, Julie. Thank you for coming on.
Thank you all. Have a good one. Bye.
See you.